So I met my husband when I was 16. We were together for just shy of 14 years. And it was a Friday night, and he was late home from work that evening. And I knew something was wrong when he walked through the door, because he was absolutely ashen and his heart was beating really, really fast. And that was the night that he told me that he was having an affair. And by the Sunday, he had left. And I think for me, the bigger betrayal than the infidelity was actually the fact that he never gave us an opportunity to try and work through the problems. I thought I was in a happy marriage, but that turned out not to be the case. I think I was in shock for a long time. It felt like being hit by a train, and every morning it felt like another carriage was rolling over the top of me. And it took quite a long time to sort of get back on my feet. I think the shock part probably lasted for about 3 months, and then I was just left with a really deep sadness. I think I was really fortunate that I had lots of friends and family that were incredibly supportive. But I think when you go through divorce and separation, especially in my case where my friends and family didn't really have any experience of that before, you often feel isolated, and I think it's easy to increase that situation yourself really and make yourself more isolated. Coming to the RDS course, I didn't want to come to start with. I couldn't imagine myself going on a course like this. But I decided that I would go along the first week, and if it was really terrible, I wouldn't come back again. But what I found was a group of people, lovely people that were a lot like me, who understood what I was going through. And I think with this process that you go through, sometimes the real crisis moments and the big dramatic moments are sometimes easier to deal with, because that's when all your friends and family rush around to support you. What's much harder is the day-to-day, the small things. And I think the people that I met on the course understood that. And we shared lots of coping strategies for that moment when you're on your own, back at home, and you've got to close the curtains and it's just you and all those thoughts that keep buzzing around your head. And just having that support and knowing that there were people that I could talk to, people that I could call that would really understand what it was like. The biggest difference was learning about forgiveness and understanding what it really meant. I thought to forgive somebody that meant that you were saying what they'd done was okay, or saying that it didn't hurt. But actually it's not about that. It's about making a choice to forgive, and sometimes that means forgiving the same person several times during one day, and several days during 1 week, and several weeks during a month, and so on and so forth. But it's a process, and over time it just gives you so much freedom, and allows you to just get rid of all the hurt that's associated with the memories, the places, the things that you used to do together. I don't have any contact really with my ex now. We share a lot of friends because we met when we were so young. So one of my objectives for recovery was being able to sit in a room with him, and I knew that that meant I would have to meet and accept the lady that he met. I wanted to do that so that I could still get together with that group of friends and for it not to be an issue. And it's really that process of forgiveness that allowed me to be able to do that. It's not something that's going to happen on a regular basis, but probably a couple of times a year. And I was able to have a very normal meal with all my friends, with him there, and his new partner, who was the lady that he had the affair with. And actually, I felt really okay with it. Instead of looking at him and thinking, oh, that's my ex-husband, it was like meeting an old friend and his new girlfriend. The whole process has really taken all the pain and hurt out of the whole situation, and I'm so grateful. I think the lowest point for me was just after, I think it was the first Christmas that we were apart. I'd built myself up to deal with the whole Christmas period, and I'd made sure that there was a lot of support in place, and actually Christmas wasn't that difficult. But I really hit a low in the January afterwards. I hadn't sort of prepared myself for that. And in January, after all the Christmas festivities, people aren't socialising as much, there's not as much in the diary, and I just found myself really isolated and on my own quite a lot, and just feeling really lonely. I can honestly say I'm the happiest I've ever been right now. I never would have chosen for this to happen, but actually I've learnt a huge amount about myself and about other people. I've become stronger, And there isn't a relationship that's stayed in my life that isn't stronger as a result of this. It's led to conversations with friends and family on a totally different level that I just didn't have before. So although it's been really tough, and I wouldn't want to minimise how difficult it's been, I'm actually quite glad that it's all happened now, because the process of recovering from it has given me so much. I'd say if you're going through divorce and recovery, you should just be kind to yourself. It does take time. It's okay to be sad. That's a normal reaction to what you're going through. Don't try and squash down the feelings and minimise what you're going through, but just try and process it and make sure you've got as much support as you can get. And just be gentle with yourself and accept that it will take time.